Pumping that podcast wattage in your cottage, it's Think Digital. Get ready to take the red pill, think different about scaling your business, and free your mind. And now, coming to you live and direct from the Moon, Iowa, the greatest city in the universe. Here's your guy, Justin Wise.
There is no spoon.
Pumping that podcast wattage into your cottage. Yep, it's Think Digital. Hey, Justin Wise here with you. I am the captain on this good ship. Welcome aboard. First episode right out the gate with the new podcast. Today's topic is thinking different about digital. Excited to bring this to you. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode. Most of the episodes moving forward will not be this long, but this is the premiere episode of the new podcast, so I want to dig in a little bit and give you a sense of what this will feel like. Show notes will be available to you at thinkdigital.co/podcast. And I'm just going to cut to the material, going to get into this. We've had, if you've been following me for any number of years, you know that we've done a podcast in the past. And this one is much more focused than you may have been used to from us in the past. This is going to be much more focused on creating growth opportunities in your business through paid traffic. So where I want to start today is by listing off some lies that everyone's believing right now when it comes to digital marketing. Okay, there's lots of information out there. There's lots of misinformation. There's a lot of good information. And anymore, the skill set isn't producing information. The skill set is synthesizing information and knowing who to turn to, knowing who to trust, knowing what to listen to and what to reject. And so what I want to do is go through some of the lies and then show you practically 3 ways that you must start thinking different about marketing your business online. Okay? First lie. This one's a doozy. Hopefully these will make you cringe because let me just say, at any given point, I have believed every single one of these lies. Okay? But they are dangerous. They are counterproductive. And they actually set people in their businesses back months, sometimes even years, if they're not caught in time. And we see a lot of these lies pop up on the agency side of our business. If you don't know, I own a business called Think Digital. We do paid traffic. We create limitless growth opportunities for businesses online. And so we see a lot of clients coming in believing this, and we just see this a lot in the marketplace. So the first lie I want to bring to your attention, launches are the best way to generate interest, leads, and sales. Okay, launches are the best way to generate interest, leads, and sales for your business. Back in 2012, this was true. In 2018, this is not true. In fact, it seems like the only people benefiting from launches right now are not business owners like you and me. It's the gurus who teach people how to do launches. They're the ones beating the drum of launches because they're the ones getting rich. But for 90%, and that is not an overstatement, 90% of businesses, a launch strategy is completely ineffective. And if you're not familiar, the launch strategy I'm talking about is basically spend a ton of time planning. This could be weeks, it could be months for a particular date in the future when you will say, hey, everyone, here's my product. Here's my course. Here's my this. Here's my that. Now you can buy it. And there's usually a, quote, open cart and a close cart date, which is total BS. It is an artificial way to induce urgency into the buying process. Not a bad tactic, but what is a bad tactic is lying to your audience. So creating false scarcity, false urgency, this is all taught in the launch strategy. And in 2018, you do not have to have a launch. And in fact, I'm going to argue that you should do everything you can to avoid using a launch strategy. Because why? It's not repeatable. It's not sustainable. It's not scalable for most businesses. It doesn't work. And what you end up with is a lot of people who spend a lot of time, and in many cases, a lot of money, building something and launching it, opening their cart and then closing it, and they don't have much to show for it. There's a better way. I'll tell you about it later on in the show. Okay, next lie. Digital marketing will work for any business out there. It won't. Ta-da! It won't. And the businesses that it will not work for are the businesses that suck. Michael Hyatt says good marketing will make a bad product fail faster. What we have learned on the agency side is good paid traffic, good digital marketing makes a bad business fail faster. And you have to have the economics of your business set up in such a way that investing in ads, okay, investments are different than transactions. Investing in, let's say, ads makes sense. I talked to a woman once who has a $2.99 product. She has to sell an enormous quantity of $2.99 products for paid traffic to make sense for her. It economically does not make sense. So we advised her very strongly, you don't want to do this. This should be the last place you go. She needed to sell, we're talking hundreds of thousands of widgets at $2.99. Does not make sense for her, at least not in that aspect. She can do influencer campaigns and all this kind of stuff, but point being, you really do need to have a sound business, and you are looking to digital marketing to up the ante, to pour gas on the fire that you've already started. Here's another lie. Facebook ads start working immediately. They don't. They don't at all. It's like any other form of marketing. If you're starting from zero and you expect to get to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds, but you're driving a Yugo, ain't going to happen. Now, if you're driving a Tesla, but Teslas are way more expensive than Yugos. Actually, I don't even know if they make Yugos anymore. Let's say a Fiat. Okay. I rented a Fiat once. It was the worst experience of my life. It felt like I was driving a go-kart. I'm 6'4". I could barely fit in the thing. And let's just say acceleration wasn't one of its strong points. Facebook ads, and we talk about this a lot in this podcast this season, about when can you expect Facebook ads to start working. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But the lie is Facebook ads start working immediately. And by immediately, I mean immediately. Another lie, you need to be on a certain platform to be successful. Whatever the platform du jour is, you need to be on Snapchat to be successful. As I record this, Snapchat ain't having a good day. Because they can't figure out how to make money on it. That's a problem. A while back, it was WhatsApp. Okay. Back in the day, it was MySpace. Facebook is still around. Twitter even has seen better days. You don't need platforms to be successful. What you need is principles. What you need are principles to be successful. Standards. Strategy. We talk a lot about that in this podcast here this season. Some more lies. Organic reach is dead. It's not. You just have to know what the hell you're doing. Email marketing is dead. It ain't. Again, you have to know how to utilize email. Are open rates going down? Yeah, they are. Are click-through rates going down? Yep, they are. But is email marketing dead? Give me a break. Give me a break. You know who's saying email marketing is dead is the people who have a financial interest in convincing you that email marketing is dead. It's not dead. It has the highest adoption rate of any platform out there. It's not going anywhere. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook is not dead. Anyone who tells you that it's dead is an idiot. They do not know what they are saying, as my son would say. Lies, lies, lies. Another lie, I'll wrap up with this one. Focus your paid traffic on getting cheap clicks, cheap leads, cheap this, cheap that, cheap anything. No, cheap is cheap. And paid traffic, the same rule applies as to life. You get what you pay for. Guess what? If you pay for cheap leads, guess what you're going to get? Cheap leads. If you pay for cheap clicks, what are you going to get? Yeah, cheap clicks. The goal isn't cheap. The goal is quality. Optimize for quality and then optimize for cost. Now, I've just kind of popped a bunch of bubbles there. Hopefully, you identified one or more of those lies that you're believing, because I'm going to shake it out of you. I'm going to give you something better to believe. And these are 3 ways, and we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about this. There are 3 ways that you must start thinking differently about marketing your business online. Okay? First one is this: pick a channel and master it before moving to a new one. This is my favorite reason by far, which is why it's first. There is so much distraction. There is so much noise in the world that as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we are in the thick of this, okay? We got everybody trying to sell us stuff, tell us that this way's the way, that way's the way. This tactic's the way to triple, quadruple, quintuple your business. And there's so much noise that people can't focus on any one thing for more than 2 seconds before wanting to try something different. That is a killer in momentum. It will kill a great business. There's a great book that I highly recommend. It's called One Thing. I forgot who wrote it. Just type in One Thing. It's black and white cover with a red circle on it. I try and reread this at least once a year to drill this concept down into my own mind. When you defray your focus, okay, in your business, and you say to yourself, well, I gotta have a killer, organic content strategy, and I gotta have a killer email marketing strategy, and I gotta have a killer YouTube strategy, and I gotta have a killer paid traffic strategy, and I gotta have a killer Instagram strategy or MySpace or whatever. And this, and this, and this. No end in. When you defray your focus like that and your amount of resources stays the same, okay? And when I stay the same, I mean your staff, for the most part, stays the same. Your energy stays the same. Your money, dollars and cents, your marketing budget, whatever, it stays the same. And you try and take that same amount of resources and push it behind all of those angles. You instantly become less successful. You instantly become more scattered. It's the difference between a surgeon doing surgery with a scalpel or a shotgun. I know if I needed to have heart surgery, I would want the surgeon to do surgery with the sharpest, most precise tools on the planet. I would not want him using a butter knife from my kitchen drawer to snip at my heart. And when we try and do 100 different things at once, we're using a butter knife instead of a scalpel. You can mitigate this by adding more resources, of course. You can add more time, more attention, more cash. That's not the case for most of us, where we can just throw, nor should it be. We can't just, and don't want to get in the habit of just throwing money at something to make it go away. So what we recommend is keeping all your focus, all your resources on one thing before moving on to the next endeavor. So for us, when a client comes into our agency, the first thing, and most of our clients have successful businesses already, and they want to go to a next level. They want to create limitless growth opportunities in their business. So what we do is we focus everything on getting them an acquisition funnel that works. So getting them a repeatable, sustainable, scalable way to bring leads into their business before we do anything else. And in many cases, the clients that we end up working with, we have to actually tell them, hey, you're no longer working on these things. These are not priority. Okay, this thing you want to do with AdWords over here, no. This thing you want to do with Google Display Network or YouTube ads over here, whatever, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing launches. We're not doing 4-part video series. We're not doing challenges. No, no, no. We're doing one thing, and we're going to get that running silky smooth, sexy smooth, and then maybe you can move on to a next item on your list. Here's why we do that. And here's why I recommend you to do the same. Because people cut themselves off at the knees. They never even give themselves a chance to be successful because they can't focus on one area before they get distracted on something else.
You're listening to Think Digital with Justin Wise. The next step down the rabbit hole is to sign up for the No Spoon newsletter, a free weekly email designed to increase your productivity, grow your influence, and free your mind. Take the red pill and head on over to thereisnospoon.co to sign up.
So again, just using my experience in our agency, we sometimes have people who, these folks don't make it to the client stage, okay? Or at least they don't anymore. We've gotten much better at finding these folks before they kind of get into our client flow. We have folks who they'll want to bail after 3 to 4 weeks because their revenue hasn't tripled or quadrupled, or they think they should be doing LinkedIn ads or YouTube. That's what I was saying earlier. And we have to let them go. We have to fire them. And it grieves me to do that because I know that they will never truly be as successful as they can be until that attitude changes. It's not volume, it's intensity that drives results. I'll say that again. It's not volume, but it's intensity that drives results with marketing online. So from our own mistakes, at one point in our business, we were doing 47 different services. 47 different services. And I will tell you, candidly, it almost put us out of business because we had a small team and we ended up doing the math on it, had some very bright people who I had come in consult with us, and we ended up doing the math. And for the amount of services that we were doing, the amount of services and the amount of services that we were marketing, we actually should have had anywhere between a 40 and 50 member team. We have 5 people. That was not sustainable. So it almost put it out of business. Thankfully, we chopped nearly everything off that list except 2 things. And that's what we do now, funnels and paid traffic. So the number one way to think different about digital, about marketing your business online, is to pick a channel and master it before moving to a new one. My suggestion is to start with an acquisition funnel. Get a way to get scalable, sustainable, repeatable leads into your business, okay? All right, number 2, digital marketing will not fix a broken business. I alluded to this in the beginning of the show, but again, digital marketing will not fix a broken business. See, most businesses do not know how to market their business online. I shouldn't say most, okay? Because there's a lot of savvy, smart. Many of the people listening to this podcast do not fit into this category because you've got a business that works, okay? I'm just telling you what I've seen in the graveyard. A lot of businesses do not know how to market their business online because they do not know how to market their business. Okay? A lot of businesses do not know how to market their business online because they do not know how to market their business. Now, typically, this is not always the case, but a lot of times I see the businesses fitting in this category are the mom and pop local shops. And back in the day when I used to work in the nonprofit in the church world, you had this mentality of, well, hey, we're a church, so people will just come to us. Or, hey, we're a nonprofit, so people will just donate to us. And so there was this, I don't know if it was arrogance, but ignorance of how to connect people, i.e. the market, with the mission of the organization. So they'll be impassioned and invigorated to donate or to attend. Same pattern seems to befall businesses. And where I see this happening most often is in local businesses. They assume, well, hey, we're the only whatever in town. We're the only automated car wash in town. We're the only, Ecuadorian restaurant in town. So we don't have to market our business. And so they never learn how to market their business. And then they try and layer digital marketing on top of that. It is a disaster. See, I've long held the theory that technology makes us more of what we already are. It's like a prism. A prism refracts the light being sent through it. A prism does not change light. It doesn't change the makeup, the properties of light. It simply reveals what's inside the light. This is true for human beings as well. Money does this. It plays out in the same fashion. So like when you give a jerk access to Twitter or Facebook, they become more of a jerk. They become a bigger asshole. The same is true for businesses. Okay, I see lots of businesses trying to put paid traffic gasoline in a broken down car that they call a business. So when I say a broken business, here's what I mean. And by the way, everything that I'm talking to you about, I am no better, no different. Okay, I've been in these places. That's why I can speak to it. And I see the difference between having a broken business and a not broken business. And I know what I much prefer is a not broken business. Does that mean it's perfect? Certainly no. Does that mean we don't have issues? Of course not. When I say a broken business, I mean you don't know how much it costs you to get a lead into your business. You don't know how much it costs to get a conversion into your business. You don't know who your ideal persona is, your target market. You don't know your revenue numbers. And yes, believe it or not, so just to give you some insight, I talk to around, depending on the month, it's usually between 20 and 30 entrepreneurs a month. Hour-long phone calls between 20 and 30 entrepreneurs every single month. And I've been doing this now for about 12 months. So that's, 200 to 300 entrepreneurs. So I've talked to a lot of business owners in this last year. And you would be shocked, or maybe you wouldn't be shocked, by the number of business owners that I have talked to that literally do not know how much they make. Oh, it's around this. I think it's that. I'm like, go look in your bank account. But that is a symptom of a broken business, okay? Not knowing your lead cost is a symptom of a broken business. Your conversion costs, symptom of a broken business. How much it costs you to get a client or a customer, symptom of a broken business. And what happens is people will come in and try and put digital marketing on top of this shaky foundation. And it's, throwing it back to my days in seminary. It's like trying to build a house on shifting sands. It doesn't work. Okay? So we go back when we start working with people for the clients that have a business that's working, we'll go back and set the foundation for them. If they've already got the foundation set, cool, we can run paid traffic to it, no problem. So we see this a lot with pushing traffic to a landing page that's not optimized for conversions, or people trying to sell right off Facebook, which is a disaster in most cases. Unless you're e-commerce, getting a sale off of Facebook directly is harder than ever, and it will continue to get harder. That's why we really, really love lead gen campaigns. But the bigger picture here is thinking different about your business. Digital marketing is not going to fix a broken business. In fact, it will expose the cracks in your foundation. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be marketing your business online. No, it means you should be first spending the time and energy, at least this is what we do with our clients, spending the time and the energy solidifying, making your foundation solid, and then pushing traffic to it, and then layering on digital marketing, and then building the rest of the house. You would not build a house without a foundation. You cannot build a business without a strong foundation. So that's way number 2, to think different about marketing your business online. Number 3, the third way, and I'll wrap up with this one, the first episode of Think Digital with your boy, J Dubs. My wife bet me that I wouldn't do that, so I just want to bet, is play the long game. Oh my goodness, if you want to save yourself some heartache, listen to this and listen to me. Play the long game with your marketing online. Can you tell me where the double rainbow guy is right now? Do you know what he's doing? He's probably, living in the same hut that he lived in when he caught that double rainbow and became a viral sensation? What about the Gangnam Style guy, Psy? Okay, K-pop. Flash in the pan for like a day. Probably very nice people, folks you'd want to share a glass of wine with. But the viral pop that they got, the flash in the pan that they got, their moment in time came and went, and they faded away just as quick. And now, they may be perfectly okay with that. I think the double rainbow guy scored a Skittles commercial out of it. So he's probably getting some royalties from that. Good for him. Psy, same thing. Gangnam Style, getting some royalties off that. Good for him. But businesses try and do the same thing. I once had a colleague whose digital marketing strategy was, quote, just make it go viral. That is not a great strategy, in case you were wondering. So when you get into marketing your business online, when you get into paid traffic, when you get into digital marketing, you must play the long game. You cannot be about the short game. The short game is called gambling. The long game is called investing. You are an investor. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner and you start investing in digital marketing, let's just say it's Facebook ads, for instance, you must look at it as an investment. When you put money into your IRA, when you put money into your 401k, do you expect to get that money back the next day, twice over? No, you don't. In fact, you get penalized if you take it out before retirement age. And what we have is a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs thinking they can strike it rich in 2 days, and they look at their business as a slot machine and not an investment. What about that one guy who spent $10 on Facebook ads and made $1 million overnight? Yeah, it happens like once in a blue moon. And there's no depth, there's no substance to these businesses. It's never been easier to start a business, okay? Ever. In the history of the world, it has never been easier to start a business. But it has never been harder to run a business than it is right now. That's why you must play the long game. You are not in the business world to get rich quick. You are in the business world to position yourself to reap the benefits in time and to change the world. Maybe it's a tiny, teeny sliver of the world. Maybe it's a huge portion of the world. To set your family up for success, to set yourself up for success, to help your clients, your customers, whatever. You are not in this for the short game. You are in this to play the long game. See, everybody's looking for a quick fix or a quick hack to build and grow a business, to be a unicorn. The next Facebook, the next Instagram. Statistically, do you know how hard that is? You may as well just go and you have better odds playing the lottery than building a business if that's your mentality. So just shut your business down right now. I just read an article today. PayPal, Stripe, a lot of these payment processors are cracking down on drop shipping. Do you know why? And this might ruffle your feathers, folks, but drop shipping, it's a lazy man's business. It is a short game business. And like I said, that might ruffle a few feathers. But trying to find the quickest way to a buck, not a business. That's called gambling. So you must start thinking about your business different in order to start thinking about marketing that business online differently. So let's recap. First way to start thinking different about marketing your business online is to pick a channel and master it before moving to a new one. Second way, digital marketing will not fix a broken business. It amplifies what's already there. And number 3, play the long game. You are not in this for the short game. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. That's going to do it for this episode, folks. I want you to tell me one thing you learned today, one thing that you will do different as a result of spending the last 30 minutes with me. Hit me up on Twitter. Say hi. I'm at Justin Wise. Let me know. In the meantime, you can sign up for exclusive digital marketing content designed to help you build your audience and influence their action. Check it out at thinkdigital.co/gift, GIFT. I will be back with another new episode of Think Digital. In the meantime, have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you online. Bye-bye, everybody.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.